There was a lot of enthusiasm for me to break down the 2010 Disney Channel original movie Starstruck, which, as it turns out, is partly a generic story about one teen girl's brush with fame, and partly about how that girl keeps getting kidnapped from a family who never seems to care. Although I can't say I blame them, since our main character Jessica seems kind of rude and standoffish to pretty much everyone she meets. Definitely not the type of girl that I'm looking to kidnap, just saying. In this Hollywood adventure, we get a little taste of everything that makes Disney Channel movies so great, served up in the most unappetizing, rotten little bites of bad dialogue, sleepy musical interludes, and a storyline more meandering and aimless than a young pop star who no one understands, because it's so hard living with unbridled privilege. So sharpen those songwriting skills and join me for a very familiar tasting installment of Clip Breakdown. I'm having so much fun learning a new language with Babbel, the sponsor of today's video. I love learning Spanish with Babbel because of how it challenges my brain in such a complete way. And by learning Spanish, I'll be able to better appreciate the beautiful art, music, media, and movies that come from Spanish-speaking countries. Babbel's lessons are short and immersive. You could choose between games, podcasts, videos, all really fun ways that are proven to get you speaking in as little as 3 weeks. And the short 10-minute lessons make it easy for me to fit into my free time or make a big push when I'm feeling extra motivated. Babbel's 20-day guarantee is the perfect way to see just how much learning a new language will help broaden your mind. I'm currently focused on vocabulary relating to getting around because I have a trip to Mexico coming up this year. So I'm learning key phrases such as vamos en camión, let's take the bus, compro los boletos, I buy the tickets, you pay for the snacks, or rentamos un carro, let's rent a car, shall we? Using the link in my description, you can get 65% off your subscription. That's an incredible savings to help broaden your personal horizons and expand your linguistic skills, baby. Thank you so much to Babbel for sponsoring this channel, and make sure you click the link. Now back to this bad thing in English. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and the other such content on the web, and we break it up into short stanzas like a song I wrote about the girl I love. That's not true to me. I'm not talking about myself. I don't love a girl. Sisterly love. Anyway, we break the movie down into clips and I make fun of them. That's all I'm trying to say. As you can hear, I'm a little sick. That's okay. We're still watching the movie. But before we do, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns just like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button, baby. Make sure you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I've got a fresh, hot pie in the oven. My head feels hot. Some of the things I say will not make sense. That's fine. That's your job to figure out. Members of my Patreon community were very vocal about how this played a formative role in their childhood, so I'm excited to dive into Starstruck and see what it is that these Gen Z kids loved so much about it. Clicking the play button now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Wilde!
Yes, there are those catchy little oh, oh vocal refrains as made popular in the 2010s by boy bands like One Direction. That's their battle cry. It tells us the twinks are harmonizing tonight. And it's also how they tally their kills for the day, so try and stay alert. While this movie has a full soundtrack of original songs, I find them all to be mainly generic and forgettable. Although if you like any of them, please leave a comment explaining yourself to the court. It seems like around this time Disney Channel was still refusing to deviate from the winning formula they had struck upon with High School Musical, as though you can just auto-tune any teen starlet to replicate the performances of Troy, Gabriella, and the somehow smaller looking teeth that they had in that first movie. No, no, no. Instead, we get Christopher Wilde, the main pop star character of this movie, along with his precious mini boot choreography. I mean, that kind of makes it look like his boots are singing backup for him, but cool look, I guess. Another thing pop music did at this time was like that rowdy boy yelling. They're like, yeah, you! And it's like in an echoey, folksy dance hall. Like, what in the sock hop, barn burning beanery is going on in here? Although it is actually kind of impressive how it only took a single bold jacket for Christopher to be completely swallowed up by his entire outfit. It looks like they put a replica Michael Jackson costume piece on a cream-colored factory standard mannequin. We flash back to the two girls who are at the center of this story. They're watching this performance on TV. I don't need to tell you their names. They're gonna tell you each other's names all the time. All the time.
Jessica! Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. Am I blocking your view of what's his name? Move it or lose it, sister.
What's going on, girls, is the Limited 2 having a back-to-school sale on proper nouns, and that's how you found the most unnatural sounding way to state each other's names and character relationships for us. Audiences probably would have gathered that these two were siblings without them being like, pardon me, Merryweather Constance, soul sister of mine, of same blood and similar hairstyle. We're only a few minutes in, but between all the dumbed-down dialogue and inexperienced actors, I sort of feel like a 16th century peasant watching some play written to distract me from my plague symptoms. Mama, if you thought that was a weird, clunky exposition moment, just wait, just wait. I hope you're not allergic to terrible screenwriting, because you will die. You will die. You will literally die. That's me. That's how I talk.
In less than 24 hours, I'll be in Los Angeles where Christopher lives.
Can I please stay home?
No,
Why not?
because your grandmother hasn't seen you in 2 years.
Plus, you're a minor and it's illegal.
Yeah, you know Kevin McAllister from Home Alone? He died in prison. Is that what you want, Olivia Rodrigo? Actually, if these producers had watched Home Alone, they would have gotten some inspiration on a more visual and interesting way to show that this family is about to leave for vacation. I swear, some filmmakers have the show don't tell rule memorized backwards. They said, how could that exposition have been boring if she said it while folding laundry? As we find out, the older sister, Sarah, is a huge fan of Christopher Knight, and she's most excited about going to LA to try and meet him.
We live in Michigan. You don't know him.
But I do. Where he works, eats, shops, surfs.
If he eats exclusively at Pink's Hot Dogs, that's gonna be a lot of soft form bowel movements, which is not exactly the first thing I look for in a partner. The first thing I look for is dark brown urine, because I love a man with kidney disease. It seems like the only through line in this script is that every character loves their car in one way or another, although it's only ever mentioned and never really integrated into the story. So then we delve into Christopher Wilde's crazy life, including his celebrity girlfriend and best friend.
Look who it is. Christopher Wilde's girlfriend. The fantabulous, fabulous Alexis Bender.
First of all, if you want to stay in your famous friend's entourage, you have to at least pretend not to hate his girlfriend. It's in your employment contract under the Yoko Ono addendum. As you just saw, the purpose of every line in the first act of this movie essentially boils down to getting these clumsy character introductions out of the way. Chris already knows who his girlfriend is, so in casual conversation, you don't need to use her full confirmation name, blood type, and vehicle identification number. If it isn't Courtney Wortney, the super famous and wealthy starlet of Hollywood, even though the ends of her hair look like that. To be clear, her hair looks fine for real life. It's just that lower budget TV movies always feature one of two styles for women. Blown out waves or no blown out waves, comma, air dried bangs. The stylists on those sets are probably like, oh, you're a supporting character? We don't even have time for curls. You can borrow our short circuiting hair straightener and a scoonsy ponytail holder for when you're eating lunch, but that's the best we can do. It's a 3-week shoot, babe. Come with your hair done, how about? Just so everyone knows, this is an under 21 club. You can tell because the name of the club is Arrow Down 21 Club. What do you tell the taxi drivers to go to? Go to the Down 21 Club. 21 below? Anyway, it's another case of movies and TV perpetrating the idea that Los Angeles or any other major city has a full-time under 21 club that people can just line up and go to unsupervised. Like, what? Where's the money? There's no liquor sales. No one's gonna, that's not in a full-time establishment. That's like Wednesday nights at a real club when they have no one there anyway. So unfortunately, Chris isn't able to evade the paparazzi like he wants to, and they snap pictures of him at this club. Meanwhile, at school, Sarah, the older sister, is showing Jessica her plan to run into Christopher Wilde somewhere along their journey. She made a pop-up book about it. Oh, as it turns out, Christopher is trying to break into the movie industry, so he has a very important meeting about that.
Oh, honey, you could have cleaned up a little bit.
What?
I'm totally clean.
Okay, nice try, but now you need to go upstairs and conduct that same sniff test on your asshole and foreskin, because that's obviously what we're more concerned about here. Disney is like, you know how boys are, crusted in feces, smelling of fungal infections, and incapable of realizing why that's a bad thing. Oh, Tommy. That's why he needs some well-meaning, forever lip-glossed little girl who will fall in love with taking care of him and find joy in all of his flaws. So the movie producer's like, I want you for this movie, but in order to convince the producers, you need to stay out of all of the newspapers and the tabloids for the rest of the weekend. So he's like, no problem, I can totally do it. Jessica and her family, meanwhile, are just now getting to the grandma's house.
You could fall and break a hip. Oh, now, Barbara, calm down. Howard had my back. Hi.
We take care of each other.
Oh.
I help your mother change out the battery in her smoke detector while she helps coax blood back to my pelvic area with a heating pad while I tell her stories about my dead wife. I'm not shaming them, I'm just saying these two are being very obvious about their over 60 sex life. Grandma said, my only house rule is don't knock on my bedroom door after 7:30, because that's when we turn in for the night and Howard screws on his hard penis. You know how they screw on? You know how you screw them on in old age? I don't know how. I don't know what age it happens at. Ask a doctor. Ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor. These girls just get whatever they want. They're like, oh yeah, Sarah, you can just grab grandma's car and drive off forever on your own if that's what you want to do. And she's like, but this car is so ugly, even though it's super cute. Like, I don't actually get that.
She runs like a top.
Yeah, a super ugly top you'd never want to be seen in.
Does that mean you'll be joining us for shuffleboard?
Great serve about how boring it is to spend time with you, Jessica. And I'm not sure what you're laughing about, Grandma. She doesn't even own a shuffleboard, and she's still like, oh, you girls are right. I am an old bitch. Let me grab those keys for you. That night, Sarah gets the scoop that what's his name is gonna be at the under 21 club because he's promised to sing for his girlfriend's birthday there. So the only way she's allowed to go is by saying that Jessica will come with her. So they drive to the club. She makes Jessica wait in the car while she goes inside. Christopher Knight and his friend Stubby, yep, that's the name, they're just arriving right now too.
I promised Alexis I'd sing her birthday. I'm not gonna let her down.
Oh, you and your stupid friendship rules.
Yeah, they work for you, don't they?
I thought we loved friendship rule number 1. Nothing is gay if it happens at a sports-themed sleepover party. Speaking of down low and discreet, that's not how I would describe Stubby's way of delivering information to the audience.
Stay at my house for free, eat my food, drive my car.
Okay, and in return, you get to hang out with myself, Albert J. Stubbins, best friend since 4th grade.
Like, you just read your own casting breakdown on camera, bitch. If it isn't me, Alfred J. Stubbins, 15 to 18-year-old African-American male and best friend to Christopher Knight. Also the one who raps, obviously. So the older sister, Maggie, manages to sneak into the club somehow, while our boy Christopher hits the stage with his dance moves. You might be laughing at those super soulful heel lifts, but if you've ever had shin splints, then you know it's not a joke. Oh wait, the stage crew is letting me know there's actually a small electrical fire under the stage and it's melting the soles of Chris's shoes. So that's what that is. Disney said, quick, bring in the rapping one to distract them with something a little less Caucasian.
You wanna watch me watch this, and when you watch TV, watch Chris. Shades on like a rock star, and I'm busting out the best move so far. I'ma keep my frames on till I'm ready, go.
Ooh, they just had to use the take where he did the little bunny foo-foo hop, didn't they? Meanwhile, they clearly asked Stubby to move as much as humanly possible without leaving that one spot of the stage, which is why he's up there doing the can-can like a marionette. He's like, oh, I'm rapping over here. Oh, I'm rapping over there. Oh, I'm rapping over here. Yes, you better stretch those quads out. You're gonna make track and field this year, I just know it. All right, we've got an inciting incident coming up, and it will give meaning to the clever title of this. Starstruck relates to the entertainment news show that's frequently reporting on Christopher, but it also refers to how when Jessica gets out of the car to look for her sister, she ends up getting starstruck in the head.
Oh. Ow. Did I just hit you?
No, the door hit me by itself.
Well, maybe if you weren't playing this character so unlikable, the set pieces wouldn't keep physically attacking you like that. I'll have you know that alleyway door has been appearing on episodes of CSI since before you were born, and you didn't even introduce yourself to her when you came on set. The actress who plays Jessica, named Danielle Campbell, who went on to be on many seasons of the show The Originals, I think she plays Jessica just a little too unimpressed with fame and glitz and glamour, to the point where it's never clear why Chris falls in love with her from like the first time they meet. He's like, wow, you're just not like other girls. It's like, no, yeah, she's way worse. It kind of just seems like he really needs approval, so since one person doesn't like him, he has to like get her approval, which would be something they could have explored, but they don't really get into it too much. Anyway, since he hit her in the head, I guess he's responsible for owning her body for the rest of the lifetime.
Ow. Okay, I need to get you to a doctor.
Whoa, what happened?
Help now, questions later.
Okay,
Just get her in the car.
There's no time to explain, just help me abduct this minor and it'll all make sense later. No, I'm sorry, I don't care how long I've known you. I need the plan to make sense before we load the incapacitated minor into the trunk of my Prius. Because kids are really messy and I just got done paying that thing off. I love how Jessica's just like, okay, I'll get into your car. Like, what are they teaching kids to do here? Like, don't do that. You don't know them at all.
What is your name?
Jessica?
Why did you answer that like you're the famous one and he should have already known? Seriously, this is the first time in the movie where it actually made sense for someone to provide their name. And she's acting like it's the most ridiculous thing she's ever been asked. Hey, girl meets world, how many doorways do we have to slam your head in before you start acting nice to people? Again, rather than playing it like she's just unimpressed by Chris, she comes off like she just doesn't like anybody. And she doesn't have any obvious interests of her own outside of that, like what makes her tick? What does she like to do in her free time? Aside from just being plain rude to those who are trying to help her. She's a lovely gal. Right before Chris takes Jessica to see a doctor, she manages to hurl all over Stubby's shoes. Which to me is like, okay, you hit her head really hard. Her skull must be filling up with fluids right now. So they get her to the doctor and I'm like, okay, get her there quick because this is crazy. I've never seen a Disney Channel movie give someone that type of injury before where they're like throwing up. Anyway, that's a little too real. But then I guess it's also for nothing.
There's no sign of head trauma and I'm absolutely certain you don't have a concussion.
How come I threw up?
Maybe it was something you ate or maybe it was a reaction to meeting that doofus.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just your typical unexplained post-head injury vomiting. I suggest you go home and get a good night's rest to take your mind off all of the blood that's pooling inside of it. Then you can just give me a call if and when you wake up in the morning. It feels like they used Jessica vomiting on the shoes to escalate the comedy of that scene where they were getting into the car. But I mean, then it shouldn't be completely unexplained. What if the sister Maggie had dragged Jessica to Chris's favorite hot dog stand before this and made her eat one of Chris's favorite chili dogs? And then she could realize, oh yeah, the chili dog, that's what caused it, you're right. And then Chris, who is in the hospital room, could be like, oh, I love those chili dogs. She'd be like, yeah, I heard. Because for some reason we find out that Chris is like the brother-in-law of the doctor Sanjay who's seeing Jessica. I guess if you know a doctor, you get to cut the lines at the emergency room for a minor head injury with no bleeding.
Sanjay, what kind of car are you driving?
Nothing you'd be interested in. I'm still paying off 6 years of medical school.
Okay, why not 8 years though? Like, did you pay off 2 years already or did you just quit 2 years early? Jessica, on second hand, why don't you stay awake in there, okay? We think your doctor might just be some guy who works at a Clinique counter. When I worked at the Macy's cosmetics department, I had beef with the Clinique counter employees because I felt that having them wear a lab coat was misleading to the consumer. I'm not sure who I thought was getting a sample of tinted moisturizer and confusing it with a cancer screening, but I had a lot of underdeveloped opinions in my 20s. Unlike nowadays, where I have a lot of opinions that I've spent too much time developing and now talking about. What a trip, life is so funny like that. So Chris borrows Sanjay's car and they use it to evade the paparazzi once again and get over to Christopher's house where he's having a party, or his parents slash managers are, for the Hollywood producer. So, you know, he takes up his guitar and sings. Every time they have Christopher sing in this movie, he just like gets on stage and does a full song. It's so boring. It's so boring. And also, like, we're done the first act and really nothing that memorable has happened here, right? Like, the door hit her. That was the inciting incident. Okay. If you're gonna make the, like, story about how she collided with this celebrity, could it have been something more than just a stage door bonking her gently on the head? Like, didn't they say he loves to surf? Couldn't they have collided in a surfing accident or something and then he had to rescue her. I don't know, something. We never see him surf once. So after he sings at the party, they take Sanjay's car back to the grandma's garage where he basically is gonna crash for the night so that he doesn't get caught. And she's like, fine, just stay in here and no one will know. And I guess we're supposed to believe that he's somehow liking her through all of this, even though she's literally been like super cold and distant to him. I'm not saying she has to be warm and nice, but like he is liking her when she doesn't even seem to like anyone. Like, what do you like about her? How mean she is to you? I don't get it.
Jessica.
Stop doing that. You give girls that look and expect them to fall for you? Well, it's not working with me, so get over it.
I agree with the bitter child. The way that you look at people is creepy. I feel like a few too many casting directors told this kid to amp up his irresistible stare and dreamy eyes, because right now he's giving me more of like a good guy doll from Child's Play. Personally, I don't care if you're a pop star spending the night in my grandma's garage. Do not grab my arm just to stare at me in silence. If you want this relationship to work, you have to beg me for sex using your words, just like everyone else living in grandma's garage. What I'm confused about is the total lack of parental supervision. So like Maggie and Jessica went to this under 21 club. Jessica disappeared from it. And then the next day the parents were like, what were you girls up to last night? It's like, didn't you want to wait till they came home? No? Okay. And Maggie's like, I had to take a taxi home because the car was gone. It's like, what did you think happened then? Your sister can't drive. Where do you think she went?
Where did you go? Wait. Don't tell me. I don't want to be that bored.
Again, that's a character reacting to her little sister going missing from outside of a nightclub in an unfamiliar city. And she got driven to a second location by two strange men. There is nothing boring about that, okay? She literally defied the odds just by being discovered within 24 hours as not a dead body. So they watched the news station Starstruck, which is reporting that Chris left the party with a different girl than his girlfriend. So that shows that Jessica is now caught up in the Hollywood buzz. The weird conveniences in this movie are so annoying. Like, the parents are like, oh, why don't you take your sister to the beach? And then they go to the beach, and that just happens to be where Christopher Knight is sitting. It's like, is there only one beach in your Los Angeles County? I guess so. And then there's so much car switching. Everyone's trading car keys and driving new cars. I like literally can't keep up, and they're acting like that's part of the story that I should like be entertained by. Like, I don't give a fuck. I guess he had the grandma's car, so he's like, okay, let's trade cars back, and she's like, give me your car if you're gonna take my grandma's car. Like, why is he taking the grandma's car? So they're in the parking lot about to trade cars when the paparazzi show up, so Jessica and Chris both have to pop into grandma's car and then evade them once again. Jessica, once again, leaving her older sister lost somewhere without a car. I would be like, can you stop making me abscond from the only person who's supposed to be taking care of me on this trip? Like, what? I just feel like there's nothing there. Like, they should be at some sort of school thing or like a music camp, or they're there for the daughter's like academic decathlon, and so Jessica keeps finding reasons to escape, and they're like, where'd you go? And she's like, oh, I was just doing this. Like, they could be having so much more fun with the fact that she has to secretly run away from her family, but they're not. And as they're driving, Christopher Knight is like, you shouldn't take all of your hate and anger out on Los Angeles. It's a great city. And then they go on a little montage of Hollywood. Oh, I used to run right past there. All of the usual sights of Los Angeles, the Griffith Observatory, they walk up to the Hollywood sign, the Chinese theater. And the whole time, Jessica's like snapping pictures on her phone, or no, on her disposable camera. Everyone's having a great time.
Something about the sunshine, baby. I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
That's how blissful I look while singing in the car, as I accidentally swerve into oncoming traffic a little bit, but that's okay. One time I hit a curb and saw my final hubcap go flying off behind me, and the only thing I could think was, want you in my rear window, baby, you're sick. I want your love, 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 I want your love. What? I'm pretty sure it didn't decapitate any beachgoers. I skimmed through the news that night. When the paparazzi start a follow-in, they try to find a shortcut, which somehow leads to them getting lost in the desert. If you're driving towards the desert, you're going the wrong way in Los Angeles, just saying. And then the car gets stuck in this like mud puddle, and then they cut away, and the mud puddle has become a large body of water.
Great.
Yeah, you gotta look out for that instantly liquefying quicksand that exists outside of Malibu. That's where local resident and Fox News contributor Caitlyn Jenner discards of the shriveled stem cell babies that she absorbs the collagen from in order to maintain neck tone. So these two crazy kids climb on top of the car and manage to jump out right as Grandma's car gets suckled in to this really random thing of mud. So everyone's looking for Christopher now because he's basically gone off the grid. And it feels like too many ideas at once for the movie. Like, is this about her having a good time shown to her, or him learning what it's like to be a real normal young person for once? Because he's like, I'm having the time of my life. No one's around to bother me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I hate that. Like, they seriously argue every 2 seconds. I don't ever get a progression of them like starting to become softer towards each other or liking each other more. It's just so boring. It's so boring. And then shit like this happens.
From the first day I met you, I just... Oh! Christopher!
This is going to sound cruel, but if there is a God, this movie will end right now with this girl being just kidnapped and drowned the old-fashioned way. What? I said it was gonna sound cruel. That was my impression of Jessica saying anything in this movie. What, Jessica? My name is Jessica? Also, I haven't seen such an obviously rehearsed fall into a body of water since me trying to get attention at pool parties as a kid. Oh my God, is Nick okay? Let's give him a second piece of cake so he stops crying. Yeah, baby. That was the life. Childhood. This fall into the lake was just a device for them to clean the mud off their costumes and then emerge with magically perfect hair and makeup once again. Again, I don't buy it when Chris is like, ever since the first time I met you, I'm like, what? First time you met her, she had a fucking handle lodged in her soft spot. You liked that? Like, she wasn't nice to you once. She didn't show herself to be unique or interested. She doesn't even have unique interests to show him. Like, is she book smart? Is she like knows everything about cars? Like, what is he like about her? She hasn't offered anything at all. Although she is starting to understand just how hard his life must be since his every move is watched, and maybe he's not such a spoiled brat after all. And he's like, and maybe you are. I don't know if you're all ready for the third act conflict, because it to me feels sudden. I feel like this was 1.5 act movie, but okay. Either way, they get back to Malibu and they're looking for the sister who somehow got Chris's keys so that she could drive home in his car. And so when she's finding the car, she finds his registration and is like, you're driving around Christopher Wilde? Like, I've watched this movie twice and I still don't understand what that's all about. Just so that the sister finds out and can blackmail her, like, I think, but that never happens either.
You were so different from any other girl I've ever known.
Different, weird, different, annoying.
Different, annoying. But I appreciate you narrowing it down to just 2 options for me, because I had a whole list going. Christopher acts all scared when some surfers go by. He's like, oh, we just gotta be careful. We can't be seen together.
You can't tell anybody about what happened today. Not even your parents. If we go down there, if we get photographed together, it'll get crazy.
Why does it have to get crazy?
Because I'm Christopher Wilde. You're just an ordinary girl.
I have to go now.
No, Jessica, it's okay. He knows that you're ordinary, so you don't have to run off every time you feel gassy. He doesn't mind if you just hold it in forever. She's like, he called me ordinary, and that's not fair because I'm actually the main character, hero, and victim of every situation, and that should be clear from the tone of voice I'm stuck in. Oh, third act conflict. How I don't care.
Jess, stop, please. Pictures you took of us, I should probably keep them.
I feel like he just remembered he becomes a legal adult next month and needs to quietly wrap up any whirlwind romances with people who just turned 15. He said, it's really no big deal. You just have to delete any pictures of me, forget you ever met me, and if your family ever asks, you have to kill them or you're going to jail. Okay, have a good sophomore year. He really insults Jessica by offering to pay her off, and then he goes into this big whole thing about the paparazzi?
The paparazzi never go away, and once they have you in their sights, they won't quit until they get what they want.
Is that the ghost of Princess Diana? Oh no, he just has the same haircut, sorry. After she gets her heart broken, Jessica also gets photographed at the beach while talking to Chris, and that's gonna come back to bite us. But first, back at the grandma's house, we have this sad musical montage about how, you know, Jessica's had her heart broken by this guy she met. If I see your face, I will and know, yeah. Are you okay, sweetie? You've barely touched your roasted chicken skin and wilted lettuce pile. Jessica's like, everything reminds me of him. This dry, flavorless leaf is his dancing. Meanwhile, Christopher's like, ah! What does the song even sound like? Shut up. Oh, but Jessica sees love everywhere. She sees her grandma and the guy she's having fun, and she's like, okay. Oh, Christopher breaks up with his girlfriend where things were never quite right between them. But eventually, the Jessica family has to head back home from Grandma's, and Grandma offers some sage advice.
Life has a way of working itself out for the better.
Really, Grandma?
I mean, look at me. I've been trying to get rid of that ugly old car since your grandpa died.
Because that's when it became haunted by his vengeful spirit and started running itself into deer at night. Your grandfather was a sick man, Jessica. These girls have no consequences. Like, wouldn't it have been funny if they got caught or were in trouble, or somehow the parents were like, we're very surprised at you, Jessica, through all of this, and she's like, sorry, okay? Like, I'm not getting any of that kind of still generic stuff that would be at least some meat, something to sink my teeth into with this movie. Like, I've never seen a Disney Channel movie that feels so much like an hour-long episode when it's a full hour, 20 minutes. Okay, so the movie producer is like, who is this girl that all the paparazzi were photographing with on a day out? And he's like, you gotta get rid of this girl or your movie role is kaput. So Christopher Knight has to get on TV and be like, I don't know who Jessica is. I'm sorry that she thinks that we had something, but I meet a lot of fans at Malibu. I might have signed an autograph for her, but I'm sorry, I don't know her. So that makes Jessica look crazy. Everyone on the internet is, you know, making fun of her, saying that she's desperate for fame, that she's a liar, and all the paparazzi are gathered outside of her house now. So Chris has really dragged her into this. Meanwhile, he's singing like what is supposed to be the most heartfelt song of the thing, but I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Jessica knows that the paparazzi are not gonna leave her alone until she gives them what they want, because that's what Chris told her. So she finally goes out there and gives them a piece of her mind.
So congratulations, you've created a celebrity, but you have wrecked the human being inside. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
I'm calling to let you know how disappointed I am in your story. There's many things that I read in here that were false.
Sweetheart, you're not gonna take down the entertainment news industry as just one girl crying alone on camera, since that's sort of how the whole thing got started anyway. They're like, that's ratings gold. You're unwittingly making them even stronger right now. Stop. When they see the interview on TV, Stubby gives Chris an earful, being like, you didn't have a choice. You're not the best friend I thought you were. Like, your answer to everything is that you didn't have a choice. You always have a choice. So that makes Chris feel like, you're right. I am the master of my scrolls. And so he goes to the movie set with the producer and he's like, I don't want the part. You. If I can't literally go out to an under 21 club the night before a movie is deciding, like, that doesn't make sense, so you. And the parents are like, I can't believe you don't want to do this. And he's like, I never did. Oh, this sucks. So then the sister Maggie convinces Jessica to go to the dance, and surprise, right on stage, what's his name jumps on and starts apologizing. Like, this is the other thing. There's no symbolism brought into this apology. He doesn't really bring up a bunch of stuff he learned about her on their trip. Like, he basically just says, like, I'm so sorry, I will never do this again. And she's like, okay, what? Like, where's the grand spectacle? Where is, like, I don't know. It could have all fit together so much better. Like, if she at some point was like, I know it sounds stupid, but I've always had this dream of looking like a princess, even though I'm never really that role or whatever. And then at the end of this, he's like, it's your turn to be a princess, blah, blah. Something, you know, some sort of thing. But there's nothing. There's just this.
Forgive me.
You did it, Chris. You finally broke the spell that's been causing her face to be miserable. Kind of, anyway. A little bit. You can actually hear the sound of the crew cheering in the background, because this is the most emotional performance Jessica has given in the entire shoot. She said, okay, great. So then they dance by standing still as Stubby raps his heart out on stage. Thank you, Stubbs. Ugh, what a terror. I thought there might be better music in this or something for it to be such a favorite of my patrons. But what do you think of this one? Did you love it as a kid? Do you agree that it's basically a nothing burger? Let me know in the comments below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more 2010s Disney comms. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. So turn on notifications if you always want to be the first to know when I'm starstruck. Maybe I'm starstruck. Also, I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus episodes, virtual watch parties, and more. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for dancing Starstruck with me today. I will see you next time.